return of sunshine for today at least. That also means a chill is in the air, but bright blue skies, enjoyable weather. Although, yeah, we've got some chilly temperatures in place with 46 degrees right now in Baton Rouge Metro Airport. You see the flags here at the old ferry landing blowing downriver, so that's a northerly wind flow at 9 miles per hour at the airport, gusting to 17 miles per hour. So with that wind, actually feels like the low 40s when you factor in the wind chill. So we're going to get to around 50 degrees this afternoon, and then we're going to fall through the evening hours all the way into the upper 20s along and north of the I-10-12 corridor, and then low 30s south of the interstate corridor. Does look like we'll see freezing temperatures across the entirety of our viewing area. 42 is where we should be for New Year's Eve, and we're going to be several degrees below that, but not quite record territory. That would be 14 degrees back in 1983. So we're preparing for light freeze, 2 to 10 hours. So 2 hours down towards our coastal parishes for areas like Morgan City, Berwick, and Franklin. And then as you go northward into Baton Rouge, probably roughly around 6 to 8 hours in terms of freezing temperatures. And then you get towards those 8 to 10 hours of freezing temperatures. Look towards Clinton, Jackson, and then across the state line into Woodville and into Macomb. So temperatures expected to dip down into those mid to upper 20s north of the interstate corridor. That falls into the people, pets, and plants category. Not going to be cold enough or cold enough long enough to worry about the pipes. So no need to drip the faucets. No need to wrap the pipes if you haven't already done so this winter season. Let's get you into the New Year's Eve festivities, though, in terms of the time frame by the evening hours. So not maybe as cold as previous evenings, but bottom line, it's still going to be cold enough to need the jacket or the coat. Red Stick Revelry taking place here in downtown Baton Rouge from 8 p.m. until midnight. And you can see as we ring in 2026, that temperature tomorrow evening expected to be right around 40 degrees. So right now we're dealing with this trough or dip in the jet stream across the eastern half of the country that's continuing to filter in this cold Canadian Arctic air. But what's going to happen is this ridge off towards our west, notice how the jet stream kind of comes up and over most of the western half of the country, is going to be in this tug of war with the trough along the east coast, trying to help push it out. It's going to struggle to do so, but you'll notice how we get sort of these indentations here where the trough tries to break back in. That could be some minor fronts heading our way, the first of which is going to be occurring kind of Friday into Saturday, and then it looks like another one may try and surface and move in as we go into the middle point of next week, sometime maybe into Tuesday of next week. So your temperature trend over the next 7 days may be hard to believe if you step outside right now and feel the chill in the air. Next 7 days, majority of our days are actually going to be above normal and by several degrees. That's because we're expecting a significant warming trend heading into the new year. So for New Year's Eve, high of 60s, roughly about a degree cooler than normal, but you'll notice 70s back into the forecast as we head towards New Year's Day and the day following. And then Friday into Saturday, we get our next front. But our next front is only going to be a minor front, and you can see how temperatures only dip down a couple of degrees heading into the weekend ahead for that first weekend of the new year. So what we're going to be tracking next is certainly going to be that front. You can see moisture return may not be all that significant, so what we're expecting in terms of rain chances really going to be fairly minimal at best. So we're going to be watching for the cold front to approach on Friday and then pushing through early on Saturday morning. So expect scattered afternoon and evening showers on Friday and then a lingering isolated shower into Saturday morning. But the good news here is the morning is going to be kind of pre-dawn, so we're not talking about rain that's going to impact any of your weekend plans. And for most of us, we're going to receive less than 1/4 of an inch of rain from this next rainmaker. So the chills in the air, at least through tomorrow morning. By the time we get towards tomorrow afternoon, we'll hit a daytime high of 60 degrees, but still cool enough for the evening on New Year's Eve to have the jackets and the coats handy, especially if you have those outdoor plans. But that warming trend continues into the new year and really even into the weekend following, because we're going to stay in the 70s for those daytime highs. We might see some dips for morning lows, but overall it's going to be an above normal temperature trend for the next 7 days and also a mainly dry forecast for the next 7 days.